Hi, hello everybody. Betty McKnit here on day 3 of the 6-day crochet along. Hello and welcome. I'm live on all the different places, but once again, for some weird reason, my camera is not connecting to the overhead. And I did come in here early to try and set it up and everything, but it just, for some reason, it is not connecting right away. But I have found that if I wait a little while, I don't know what it wants, but sometimes if I wait for a little while, it just goes ahead and pops up. I don't know what the deal is. So I'll just talk for a few minutes because we all know I'm really good at talking. And I'll just talk about what's going on. This is the 6-day crochet along. And on day 1, let's see, what did I do? I did I swatched for the 6-day tranquility stripe, which is the one that doesn't chevron. It just goes straight back and forth. And we measured a little bit, and I did it in 4 sizes so that I could make the chart like what I have in the regular 6-day blanket pattern that gives you some the options, the resize options, so that you can make your 6-day tranquility stripe blanket any size you want with any yarn that you want. So there's that. Oh, hold on, I haven't done this. One more thing I have to do. Let's go live over here. Do not mirror the video. Go live now. All right. I don't remember having to unmute in the past, but there it is. Okay. We'll see how that goes down. Okay, so that was the first day I did this. And then let's see, yesterday was day 2, and I started on this. I wanted to do a complete swatch along. This is the Ridgy Didge stripe. So I wanted to do a complete swatch along for this, but when I was on this 3rd stripe, my internet went out, and so I had to stop. So today I'm going to be finishing this and doing the see how it's like straight at the bottom and then it chevrons up, and then so I'm going to finish up this swatch, and I'm going to do the flatten it off on the top, and then I'm going to set that aside. But you'll have the replay video. That'll be all the places, so you can go back when you're ready to do your Ridgy Didge swatch. That will be there for you. I messed up, and I wanted to put this green in between these 2 oranges, but sometimes I just do whatever on lives. I forget what I said I'm supposed to do, and I get nervous and I just grab stuff. So that's what happened. But the green, I was supposed to do the peach first and then the green. But anyways, I messed it up. And then if I complete that, yesterday, we'll see how I'm doing on time. I'm not sure I'm going to have time to start this today, but I'm prepared to start it. I'm going to swatch again for the Ridgy Didge, but I'm going to change colors on every row, which is what I did on the retro rainbow baby blanket. And so, hi Hessa, hi Andrew, it's good to see you all. So I'm going to change colors every row, and I'm going to show you what I did and how I carried the yarn up the sides on that project, so I didn't have a billion ends to weave in. And honestly, I'll show you all how to do it, but my honest opinion on it is that if I do it again, I'm just going to weave in the ends. But I'll show you how I did it anyways, because I did put it in the pattern. And You can make the choice for yourself. So that's my goal for today. If I don't get all that done today, I'm going to try, I'll finish it. I'll do it tomorrow. This is just day 3. So there's still today and 3 more days. So hi Debbie. There are, there's no rush. Okay. This is, the 6-day kit blanket the 6-day projects are called 6-day, not really because they only take 6 days, but because the first one only took me, oh, thank you for the heart. That's so cute. I'll be like those AI and be like, I don't know what they do, what those people do. I don't know what they're doing. It's such this weirdest thing. But yeah, trend. But yeah, thank you. That's so cute. Um, Andrew says, "Oh Lord, no." Oh, ice cream. Thank you. I guess they get paid a lot of money. That's why they do it. I don't know. They say they make like really big, they get lots of gifts by doing it. So I don't know. Anyways, what was I saying? If I don't get to the retro rainbow with carrying the yarn up the sides today, I'll do that tomorrow. And also in this 6-day window, I'm going to start on one of the loveys. I'm going to work on the Ridgy Didge lovey, and then maybe, I don't know, because I haven't really heard much from Goth Fairies, but maybe she'll show up on a live and talk about her fairy lovey that she made for us, the cute little fairy with the bun, the blue hair and the bun and the wings, and it's really cute. And she did that for me to match these blankets. And we have a Ridgy Didge lovey that matches the blankets, and it's a nice little set you can make for a baby if you want to. If you don't have a baby in your life and you want to Ridgy Didge the star blanket, then I haven't written that up yet, but you could start with the lovey and kind of figure it out. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and work on that lovey. And hopefully there's enough time for me to show some of the edges too for the blankets, because I did 3 new blankets. They're all sitting right there, but they're just like piled up. That is the Ridgy Didge, and then that is the retro rainbow, and then that one right there is the sweetheart rainbow, which I guess I should swatch for that too. So maybe that, if there's time, that will also get thrown in. But anyways, let's see if my camera's working now. I talked quite a lot. Yes. See, it's just like, it just needs time. I don't know how much time that is. That looks like that was about 9 minutes. So maybe it needs 9 minutes. I don't know what it wants. God help me. Help me. Technology, for crying out loud. Oh, good grief. Please, now it's frozen. Don't ask me what it wants. Do not ask me, because I do not know the answer. I don't know the answer. Let's close this. Maybe that's the thing. It's bothering it. I'm afraid to do that, because then... Oh my gosh. It's frozen. Okay, I'm just going to try and give it some time to think. And I'm going to close up a couple windows, because it does seem like there's a very heavy load on the computer right now. There it goes. Yes. Okay. So waiting, being patient is sometimes the way to go. Let me put some stuff on my hands. I don't like to talk about my appearance a lot, but I really am, of all things, like I am self-conscious about my nails right now because I had to take them off and I had to give them a break, which I have to do. The whole reason I wear acrylic nails is because my nails are really thin on their own, and no matter what I do, they always break and split, and um and so that's why I wear the acrylic nails. And I always, I like my hands to look so cute in my videos, and I'm not wearing my nails right now because I had to, I can only wear them for so long, and then I have to take them off and give them a break. Also, my hands are a little puffy right now, so um and I see my face is puffy too, but I do have a condition called lipedema, and it's a lymphatic condition. There's a lymphatic component, so swelling is just something that happens to me and to my body. And so, yeah, right now I'm just like doing a little lymphatic drainage on my hands. And I use this oil, this lymphatic massage oil is what I use on my hands to kind of keep the swelling. Um, Hello, hi, I'm doing great. Hi, Amber. All right, what did I say I was gonna do? I'm gonna finish up this Ridgy Didge. So let me go ahead and put TikTok up above, and then I'll talk about the Ridgy Didge blanket. Someday I'll figure out how to do TikTok and do the live, with the same view as as the other stuff. So, okay, here's what I got. And this yarn is Stylecraft Special DK, and the colors are white. And this one is called Spice. And this one lost its label, but I believe it's called Toy. And this one is Lincoln. It's like a sage green. Okay, I'm not going to actually need the Toy and the Lincoln today, I don't think, but okay, so this is a continuation from the video that I did yesterday, and that video is in two parts on my YouTube channel, but I'll just continue, I'll just explain again. Whenever you alter the 6-day kid blanket and restripe it, other than how it was written, which the original had the double crochet rows are the contrasting rows, the rows with contrasting colors. So it goes two, row 7, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6 double crochet, and then 7, 2, 3, 4 are one color, and then 5 or 6 are another color. Thanks for sharing the live. Appreciate you guys so much. So most people don't realize, because I'll just say it, you all don't read the pattern all the way through to the end. You get started and you forget. And I feel like this is true because a lot of people ask me, how should I edge? Or they come in the group and they say, does anybody have a suggestion for an edge? Well, most of the patterns that I publish have an edge already in a border that I designed myself. So people should say, how do I design it? How do I do it in my edge? Well, it's there in the pattern. It also says in the pattern that you're supposed to end on row 4. So this is row 4. So a lot of people like to do the repeat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and finish the repeat on row 7. So then they have these stripes that go along with the pattern repeats. And then what happens is you end up at the top and you still have to do these 4 rows. Well, now you're going to have half of a stripe in a different color if you've done with it. So whenever you start altering a pattern, just know that there might be repercussions. Like, think ahead and plan ahead. And this is actually so weird because I'm looking at this on 2 different screens on my I'm looking at 2 different views of this on my monitor. And on TikTok this looks yellow, but it's not. It's like a really pretty light peach. And on YouTube it looks more true to color. So if you want to see it more true to color, I don't know why that is. But anyways, that's what's going on. So the Ridgy Didge, we change colors between rows 5 and 6. So those are the double crochet rows. So if you're going to square off, I included the square off because we change colors between row 5 and 6, and that kind of corresponds to the row in the square off section. Okay, so that's why I included it, because I thought if you're going to square off, you're going to have to make you're going to want that ridge in in the middle of the square off and straight start section. Okay, so you want to line up your colors in order. However many colors you're going to use, you go A, B, C, D, and then plan to end with A. So when you're planning and you're measuring out, if you follow one of my patterns, I did it for you. But if you don't want to make a Ridgy Didge baby blanket, you want to make a bigger blanket or something else right now, and you want to change colors for the stripes, and even though it would look great in a solid, and it also looks great in cake yarn. I have people doing it in cake yarn in my group right now, and it's amazing. So you don't have to change colors. But if you want to change colors and do stripes like this, you have to plan the stripes beforehand. Otherwise, you're going to end up at this top and be like, now what do I do? It's not going to match. So I'm going to make my bottom and top match with the white. So you go A, this is color A, B, C, D is your last stripe. You work it to row 4, okay? And that's where I am. And then we're going to start the edge. So the first row of the edge is actually going to be in that same color. And then we're going to square off, okay? So top edge row 1, you're going to keep the same color as your final stripe. So that's where I'm at. So, and it says continuing in the pattern that I did 5 colors, I think. So it was color E. So continuing in the color that you've already got going, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is top edge row 1 of the Ridgy Didge. Counting the stitch under the turning chain, skip 2. 1, 2, 4 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and notice that those single crochets should be over the single crochet that you did into the chain space. All right. And now we're going down 3 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, skip 2, 1, 2, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 3 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then it says repeat from the star, so it'll repeat from here back up. Okay, so I'm just doing a swatch, so it only has 2 points, but when you're doing your blanket, you're going to repeat from here to here. Okay, however many points you made, and then you just, the bulk of the instructions in the row are the beginning and the end, which are different from the middle. All right, where am I? Repeat from the star. So repeat from the star to the last 9 stitches. So that means when you reach 8, 9, the last 9 stitches, that's where I'm at, you stop the repeat. So it's not repeat from star to star. It's repeat from the star and to the last 9. So you repeat, 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 and you stop when you get to the last 9 stitches. Whether you're in the middle of the repeat or the end of the repeat, you don't necessarily always are going to repeat, continue the entire repeat with that instruction. Okay. So those people say, but you're supposed to repeat from star to star, but it doesn't say repeat from star to star. It says repeat from the star until you get to the last 9. So I'm here at the last 9 stitches, and it's 3 half double crochet, and then it tells you what to do with those last 9 stitches. Okay, that's just a little pattern reading. That's how it works. 1, 4 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, skip 1, and then double crochet in the last stitch. And I'm gonna leave it the last pull through undone because I'm gonna change back to the white. Okay, let me just check all my stuff, my comments and my stuff. Thanks for sharing the live. You guys are so great. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you. I think I'm going to have to get another, I think I'm going to have to order more of that spice because I think I'm going to do a whole blanket with this colorway. I really like it. Okay, so I'm going to be changing to the white for top edge row 2. So I'm going to pull through my white, and then this is how I change colors. I take those 2 tails, and this is my working yarn up here, and these are my tails, and I flip them up over the working yarn and hold them to the back with just a little bit of tension. I don't want to say a lot because I know you guys will pull it so tight. It doesn't have to be pulled tight. We're just going to anchor it in, and then I'm going to chain 3, which is the start of my next row, and turn. And it's, you know, it's anchored in there. And then when I'll leave it here until I'm done. Then when I do my edge, I'll put them like that. Okay, I will send them in the direction of their cousins, right? Or who they match, like that. And then when I work my edge row, I'll just work over those right there for 1 or maybe 2 stitches. I don't like working over my ends a lot because it shows. So I'll just work over it for 1 or 2 stitches and just send it in the direction where it will match. And then once the edge is in the border is complete, then I'll weave in all the ends. So that's how I handle my ends. And I had to take one apart one time that had been done that way, not by me, but someone else. And it it was, I couldn't get it out. It's never going to come out. I couldn't get it out when I wanted to take it out. Okay, chain 3, skip 2, 1, 2, and now it's 3 front post double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 3 front post half double crochet. 1, 2, 3 front post single crochet, single crochet, front post single crochet. Okay, so the one in the middle we're not doing around the post, we're just doing in the top of the stitch. 3 front post half double, 2 front post double, did I say half double? I meant double. 2 front post double, skip 2, 2 front post double, 3 front post half double, 1, 2, 3 front post single crochet, single crochet, front post single crochet. Repeat from the start to the last 8 stitches. So I'm here, but if you had a wider blanket, you'd have to repeat. And then it's 3 front post half double crochet, three front post double crochet, hi. Let's see, who's that saying hi to me? I have someone covering it up. Hey, it's Pat. Hi, Pat. Good to see you. Skip 1, double crochet in the turning chain. You can see how the chevrons are starting to flatten out. Thank you. Thanks for following. Are you left-handed? I'm following. Oh, because you know what? I forgot to. Okay, top edge, row 3, chain 3. I don't know why I always chain before I turn. Well, maybe not always, but I don't think it matters. Skip 2, 3 half double crochet. Now we're just working into the tops of the stitches as per usual. 7 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You repeat from the start until 5 stitches remain, so I'm there. And then you do what it says after that. So 3 half double crochet, skip 1, half double crochet in the turning chain. So is this pattern a lot different from the 6-Day Kid blanket? What's different about it is I used different yarn, a different weight of yarn. I made a baby blanket instead of a toddler size blanket. I used DK weight. It's striped by changing colors on different rows. It includes a texture row on one of the rows. And it starts with a straight edge and it's squared off at the top. Other than that, the stitches are the same. Okay, so top edge row 4, chain 1, single crochet across. Looks like a lot of fun. Well, you're welcome to join the crochet along. We're having a blast. Okay, and row 5, I just did another row of single crochet across the top of the blanket here. I don't usually do that on this version, but I wanted to end on the right side of the blanket because we have the ridges on the right side. Now, if you wanted some of your ridges to be on the wrong side, so that you would, you know, like for instance, just say you wanted to alternate the ridge side of the blanket, instead of doing front post, you could do back post. So you could do front post on this row, this repeat, and then do back post on this repeat, front post, back post. And then your blanket would be, you know, you'd have ridges on both sides. That's one option that you could do. Okay. So I'm going to actually go ahead and work down the side and show you what I do with these ends. I'm not going to work all the way around, but I am going to go down the side to show you how I do that. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and measure this and explain to you how you can use this swatch to resize your blanket. You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. Um, we just started. This is just the third day, so you're welcome to join in on the crochet along. Um, let's see. And it's not your typical crochet along. Like I know some people do these crochet alongs where they release part 1 of the pattern and then they release part 2 of the pattern and then they release part 3. I don't do it like that because I have noticed that I have a lot of people in my community that I release a pattern and they say, this is great. How do I make it bigger? How do I make it smaller? How do I do it like this? How do I do it like that? So people want to customize. So what I do is I have the crochet along and I say, pick your pattern. And then I come on here and I show the techniques rather than just like stitch by stitch going through patterns. So if you watch my videos, the videos are not patterns. The videos are just to help enhance the pattern and help you understand it. Okay, so I tell everybody when they're doing a 6-day blanket to start with a swatch. And I swatch every time I'm starting a new design or I'm doing new yarn, new colors, new something. Yeah, absolutely. The videos is going to be on my YouTube and everywhere else. So you just have to wait for me to get done and then it'll post. Yeah. Um, okay, so this is 8 inches wide. Now I want to use, let's see, these colors to do a full adult size blanket in Ridgy Didge. Okay. So I normally do adult size blankets. I normally do 50 inches by 60 inches. So what I would do, oh, my phone is being used for a thing. Let's see if I wrote it down. I wrote down what I did. So what I would do would be to take 50 inches, which is the total width that I want. And let's see, did I write it down? Yes. Except in my notes, it says the swatch was only 7 inches wide. Okay, now it's 8. So I would divide 50 inches by 7 or 8 or whatever it turns out to be. I must use this one. I must use the smaller hook on this. So 50 by divided by 8 inches. So that's going to tell me how many swatch, like how many of these 8-inch widths I need to make 50 inches. Okay. So then whatever that number is, you have to multiply it by 2 because you have 2 points. And that will give you, that'll tell you how many points across. So I did figure out that this one would be 14 points wide. All right. So now I know I need 14 points in my blanket. So to calculate the starting chains, if I'm starting with a straight start, it would be 13 times 14 plus 4. So each one of these points is 13 stitches, okay? 13, 13, 13, 13, 13 times 14, and then plus 4, an additional 4, okay? So you multiply the number of points you figure it out that you need times 13. You take that number and you add 4, okay? So I do have a resize video. Like this is going to resize the same as the regular 6-day kid blanket. So if you look at one of those patterns, there's a chart in the pattern for that. So it's going to resize just the same, but really the best way to resize is to make a swatch like this and measure it out and figure it out for yourself. So for the length, I like to do 60 inches long. So when I measure this one out, it's 10. If I measure from top to bottom, it's 10, okay? If I measure just the stripe, I'm going to measure from ridge to ridge, it's about 3, okay? And then if I measure this little part here, it's about it's about 1.5, 2.5 total additional inches of length, okay, added from the square off portion here and here. That's additional 2.5 inches. So I want to go 60 inches long. I'm going to subtract 2.5 inches from here. And then that's going to give me, 57.5. Okay. And then I would divide 57.5 by 3. And that's going to give me the total number of stripes that I need. So it's going to be around 20 stripes, right? So 1, 2, 3. But we want to make sure that we end with the one that we started. So what you'll need to do is probably like map it out and draw it out and see if I go color A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, and I do 20 stripes, I'm not going to be, 20 is not going to get me back to the color A again. So you might have to add a couple at the top or take a couple away. Like with your length, you might not be able to hit an exact precise measurement because you're going to have to think about making these stripes match up. So usually for length, because 60 is not that long, I'm a short person. So usually for length, if my numbers don't come out even, I'll just go a little bit longer. I'll just make the blanket longer. And it's not like we're making a garment that has to fit exactly right. So we're not matching gauge here or doing anything like that. Okay. So that's how you measure your swatch and resize for any blanket. And I hope that helps. Please be sure to ask any questions that you have so they'll be part of the video. And I can answer them for you. I'm just checking all the places. Well, I almost have 20K on YouTube. So if you're not following me on YouTube, go on over and give me a follow so I can hit my 20K. That'll feel really great. I should have had this pulled up so I could see all questions. Can we start with a chainless foundation instead of the regular chain? Would it make a difference? So yes, you can. And if you do that, you will need one less chain, one less foundation single crochet than you need of chains. So this is, I'm going to try not to go on a little rant here or anything, but this is something that I see often in the crochet community is newer crocheters who discover this technique and they're like, wow, this is the answer to my prayers. I never have to chain 300 chains again because there's this thing called foundation single crochet. Why would I ever chain? Well, you will want to test out foundation single crochet before you commit to it for an entire blanket. For me personally, it is not stable enough at the bottom of my blanket. My blankets that I've done with foundation single crochet have kind of splayed out and spread out at the bottom and stretched out. I use a lot of heavier yarns and a lot of acrylics and things like that, and I have kind of loose-ish tension. So for me, it does not work. So test it out before you commit to it, and take your swatch and put it through the wash. Like, don't just blindly accept these things. And a lot of the time people say, oh, it's the magic this or the magic that, but it's really not magic. It's just a shortcut, and it's not always better. So just when you're swapping out techniques, test them out. Just be smart about it. Use your critical thinking skills and substitute things intelligently. Try them out. See if it works. I know a lot of people in my group use foundation single crochet for their blankets and they have no issues whatsoever. But for me, it does not work. It stretches. So I save it for things like hats, If you knit or learn how to knit, you will learn that there are a million different ways to, well, probably not a million, but there are loads and loads of different ways to cast on in knitting. And they each have their own purpose, and they're, some of them are stretchy, some of them are more stable. And so I've knitted quite a bit, and I think that's where I get some of my ideas come over here from the knitting world, where it's like, can you use foundation single crochet for a blanket? Yes, you can. Is it the appropriate beginning for a blanket? That depends. That depends on your tension. That depends on how the technique of how you do it. It depends on, are you going to put an edge over it later? So try these things out. Don't just say like, oh, I hate chaining. I don't want to ever do that or work into a chain. Some things are worth taking a little more attention to detail on, and just making sure, especially if you're making things to sell, just like make sure that it's or something for a baby or that people are going to wash. You don't want it to fall apart or stretch out or like only be good up until that first wash, and then it stretches out or falls apart. So it's just, and it's something as as you get older or as you crochet more and work more and more, you do develop more of an eye for like detail and things like that. So that is my, the short answer is yes, you can. And the long answer is all that crap I just said. All right. So it says continue the border round. I'm not going to do the whole round, but I just want to crochet over this edge because a lot of people ask me or say that they have trouble with it. And I do have several videos doing it, but you can never have too many videos for this technique. That's what I think. So I'm just going to do it again, and I'll show you how I work over these ends that I tied no knots to hold in place there, um, and how I handle it. So from the top of that last row, it says with the ridge side facing, join color A to I'm already joined. So I'm not going to join again. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to put 2 more stitches in here and go around the corner. And that's not what the pattern says, but that's what I'm doing. Okay. And then what I do is I treat these side stitches, the chain stitches, the double crochet, the single crochet, I treat it like a foundation single crochet. And I'm going to put my single crochet into those stitches, and I'm going under 2 threads and leaving 1 on the bottom. And then people always say, well, what's the rule of thumb? How many should I be doing? 3 to 2 or 2 to 3, like in knitting. And there is no, set way to do it, because my tension's going to be different from your tension. So you have to try it for yourself and continue as you're doing it to lay the work down, admire it, check it over, and make sure it's not ruffling or pulling. Okay. So here, I usually do like 1 stitch in the side of a single crochet, 2 in the side of a double crochet or a chain. And I just keep going down and checking it. Okay, now I have this end back here, and I want to make sure I catch the end on this last stitch. So I'm just going to work over it for 1 stitch and send it in the direction of the white. I'm going under 2. And this is the worst, most awkward, least fun part of the project, in my opinion. And I don't think anybody will fight me on that. Okay, now I'm working over the orange just for 1. I'm going to work over it for 1 more. And then I'm going to drop the tail. I'm just going under 2 threads. I'm working into the stitches. And I think personally that this is more even. And again, this is personal preference. I have a lot of people in my group that work into the spaces, okay? They just go right into the spaces and they can't be bothered to do this technique. And it looks perfectly fine. And they like it. They're happy with it. And I'm not going to say that's the wrong way to do it. For me, I feel like this is more even for me, for my tension. And I like this little row that's created with the 1 thread that's left behind. It just creates like this little border that I like. Some people don't like it or don't want it. So if you don't like it and you don't want it, don't do it. Go into the spaces. Okay? Just when you go into the spaces, you'll see space, 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 and then you'll have a jump. Space, 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 and then a jump, right? So the stitches kind of bunch up. But like I said, I have people that do it and their blankets are beautiful. So you make the call. It's your work. You get to decide. And all this, somebody said this is the right way, and somebody said this is the wrong way, and this is the best way, and this is the only way, and why would you ever want to do it any different way? All that is just like our mind having its negativity and its competitiveness and its lack mentality. It's not real. There's no one best way or right way or wrong way. Okay, I want to go back because I want to work over that orange for 1 stitch. Come on. And it's a pain in the butt, and it takes a long time. Keep laying it down, checking it. It's painstaking. I only got one thread that time. If I were not on a live, I might struggle a little bit more, but I kind of want to get through this and move on to the next thing. Those are too close. Okay, I think y'all get the idea about how I worked on my sides. This is like, I'm even boring myself. Now, I know a lot of people find this helpful because I get questions about this a lot in my group. Hello, welcome. Okay, last one. Actually, done. I'm done. I'm done for now. I can't. I just can't anymore with that. Okay. There you go. Yeah. It's, so this is what I do. And I know I have people say in the group, well, how many should I have on this side and how many should I have on that side? And maybe I'm just being lazy by not figuring that out for you, but I honestly feel like it just depends on your tension. And it's more important to get the tension correct than it is to hit a certain number of stitches. If you do it consistently, you'll get close to the same number of stitches. And then usually on the border, if it's something that has like a stitch repeat, it usually has some kind of setup row. And then I'll say, adjust your skips or fudge your skips so that you have the right number. Andrew says, do you stop at the bottom and cut the yarn and reattach? No, I do not. I continue around. So I'll keep going because people still have questions. And I probably won't move on to the retro rainbow today because it's already 4 o'clock. I've been here for 2 hours. And I got to give my legs a break. My desk chair here is right by the window, and I see all these people on their way to the beach. And I envy them. Okay, I usually don't work over it that far. Yeah, only work over the ends for 1 or 2 stitches just to like aim them in the direction of the color that they match. Okay, I'm not trying to finish my blanket that way. Okay, so here you go, Andrew. When I get to the color, the corner, this is what I do. I do 3 stitches, 3 single crochet. And then I crochet into, I work across the bottom edge and I work under. So here I go with my starting chain. When I do my single crochet into my foundation chain, I just go under 1 loop. So now I have 2 loops left. So I go under those 2 loops of my foundation chain. You're so welcome. Thanks for asking. Okay, in the last stitch of the row, I make 3. And then I'll start working up the side, just like I did on the other side. Going under 2. And leaving 1 below. Now the other thing I have suggested in the pattern that you use, that if your edges curl a lot, that you should consider chaining 4 instead of chaining 3. And then that's going to impact, I'm kind of going back to an earlier question, that's going to impact how many stitches you're going to have going up the side of your blanket. So if you've chained extra stitches or you've done extended double crochet to on the sides to give your sides a little, looser tension so they don't curl as much, then you're not going to want to do um, a 1-to-1 stitch ratio going up the side, meaning you're not going to want to do 3 single crochet or 1 single crochet in each chain stitch, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet and extended, like you don't really want to do it that way. It's nice to have a number or have somebody say like this is the rule and this is the way that you do it. But really for this, you really have to use your judgment. You have to have some confidence in your skills and use your judgment. And the goal is to make this nice and even and that it doesn't ruffle and it doesn't pucker. It should just lay flat, completely flat, and it should be pretty straight. Hi, Maddie. She says she's working on, or they say they're working on the 6-day star blanket. So fun. Make sure you tag me in that so I can see it. I guess I'll just finish this after all, since I'm not moving on to the next project today. So tomorrow I'll do the retro rainbow and show carrying the yarn up the sides, even though I don't believe in it anymore. I'll do that tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going up to Virginia Beach to get my hair cut, and that is an all-day adventure because I live on the Outer Banks. And so I won't be doing the crochet along until, I won't be live until 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Whoops. Oh, goodness. Sometimes I have a hard time deciding where the next one should go. Oh, why did I think it was 4 o'clock? It's only 3 o'clock. Okay, there you go. So, finish with 2 single crochet in the same space as the first single crochet of the top edge row 4. That should, yes, that's that one. Join with a slip stitch. Do not fasten off. Okay. So that's what the pattern says to do. It says to round the corner, and then the border round 2 starts right there. That's what it ends up looking like on the back. There's my ends. And see this one, I'll end up weaving it in up into here. And then this one, I'll go like over like that and back and forth. And this one will go over here, back and forth. So, you know, I can weave them back into the blanket where they will never show. So should a person count both sides as they have the same stitch? No. I don't count them. I don't count them. I just do it. I do it consistently, and I prioritize making this lay flat. Okay? Because if I have to have a certain number of stitches, it might be too many or too few for my tension. So I prioritize doing it perfectly flat. And then on my first border round, it is like a setup round. Then I will adjust my skips. I'll fudge. I'll make any adjustments that I need there to make the multiples work out. It will never show. But if this is like too tight, there's too many stitches or too few stitches, because you're trying to make that side the same as this side, then it's, you know, it might pucker, or it might ruffle. So there's not going to be that big of a discrepancy between sides because you did the same thing on both sides. You have the same number of rows. So you should never be off by more than a few, as long as you're doing it consistently. Counting stitches is important, but sometimes when you're a new crocheter, you get really hung up on counting the stitches. It's because you were doing your back and forth, double crochet or whatever first project, and it was getting bigger or it was getting smaller and you didn't know what you were doing. And whoever taught you how to crochet said count every stitch as you're going across and make sure you have the same one. But that's not always the solution, is knowing the number of stitches or having the correct number of stitches. Like I find this with the star blanket, people will say, well, how many stitches am I supposed to have? Well, if you don't have the right number that will make the pattern work out, me giving you a number and having you artificially create that number is just going to cause problems later on, because you're going to keep creating this same problem where you're not really following the instructions. You're just fudging to get the right number. So it's just like what I said to Andrew about the using the foundation single crochet, like use critical thinking when you are, applying some of these rules and things and what you were taught to do. And I'm not saying counting every stitch is wrong. And it certainly is not. It's a skill that we need to do in crochet. But in this instance, having the same number of stitches on each side is it's overriding your tension to make these edges completely flat. So I would just do what you got to do to make it lay flat, and then you can go back on the next round and you can make little adjustments in your skips to make sure that the border works out properly. That's exactly what I do, and that's how I write my patterns as well. I don't say do your edge stitch and make sure you have 122 stitches. I don't find it helpful. I hope that helps answer your question. Well, it's 3:15. I don't really think starting on something else would be useful at this point, so I think I'm going to go ahead and stop, and then tomorrow I'll do the retro rainbow, the back and forth with the edges, and we'll move on from there. So those are the things that I have planned. That the retro rainbow, carrying the yarn. I'd like to do a swatch for the Sweetheart rainbow blanket, and I would like to work on the Lovey. So that's 3 things. We have 3 days left. I'll try and do all that, and I'll try and see if I can get Goth Fairies in here to talk about her Fairy Lovey. If you have questions, there's many places you can post those. The Facebook groups, and you can tag me on TikTok. You can tag me on Instagram. Make sure you're posting your progress photos every day if you would like a chance of a little swag gift from me at the end of the crochet along. All right. I'll see you all tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Mwah. Where's my thing?